Coming up on Pow Wow TV, concealed weapons may soon be allowed on college campuses in Texas. Plus, TJC's newest athletic team is getting ready to come out swinging, and a national plan to make community college tuition free for most of you.
From Studio 203 on the campus of Tyler Junior College, this is Pow Wow TV, powered by mytjcnews.com.
We begin the show talking about guns on campus. The Texas State House and Senate are debating a bill called the Campus Personal Protection Act. The bill would allow concealed handgun license owners over 21 years old to carry their weapons on college campuses in the state. According to television station KBTX, Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick is backing the Senate version of the bill, and Governor Greg Abbott's campaign website says he supports the legislation. We asked a few people what their thoughts on the bill were and if they believed it to be a good idea.
You have to get a license for a concealed permit, so it might not be all that bad, but it's just the back of everybody's minds, and it's more of the idea of it.
If it's a decent enough person, and if they pass whatever laws that they have to actually own the gun itself, then I think it'd be okay for them to bring guns on campus.
No, I think it's dangerous. I think you should have a little more experience, a little more rules than just being 21 and over. You kind of got to know what you're doing, and there's people that are crazy, so I wouldn't let anybody just carry a gun.
As far as my opinion goes, it really doesn't matter. It's more of just a political move, in my opinion.
Joining me in the studio are Julio Guzman and Jabari Cadell. Thank you guys for being here today.
Thank you.
First off, what do you guys think about having guns on campus?
I think that it's a debatable issue. It's difficult to really speak on because of the fact that when it comes to gun rights, I think because of the fact that we live in a democracy, it should be allowed to be done, but for the safety of students or for the protection, I don't think it's the brightest idea to do.
Why do you think it's not the brightest idea?
Requirements to carry a gun, in Texas at least, is you have to be 21 years old, not chemically dependent, and you have to not have any federal background. But those aren't the only things that, can define someone that is sane enough to be able to carry a gun or even protect a body of students. People that protect the body of students are people that are trained to do so. And so if you put that in the hands of other students, things aren't controlled, and so it's difficult.
Yeah, and what you're gonna have a lot of people that want to become like a vigilante, try to save someone else who probably doesn't also, like, they may be equipped with a handgun. They see someone at night being attacked, they're gonna go up to them and shoot them, and you don't want somebody just to be killing someone just because they might not even know what's going on. They may accidentally shoot someone, but you don't want the first act of safety to be to shoot them, because people are already equipped with pepper spray. They may have a taser, but shooting shouldn't be the first act of safety that they take.
Yeah. And do you think it's necessary for people to have guns on campus? I mean, at any point?
I feel like this law, it just kind of came out of nowhere. It took some people by surprise. I've asked around, and people didn't even know, like, that it was going on. People were like, why are they doing that? And, like, there's no reason to do it at this time, to make something like that, because it's not really anything that has been just too many, like, attacks on, like, college campuses where stuff has just happened, like, where it's crazy shootings or fights or anything. It's not any, like, protection that's been out of control or anything on college campuses. So I think it's unnecessary at this moment in time.
Yeah, it's a difficult thing to, because you have an environment where most kids are like 19, 20 to about 23, 24, and if they're not maturely capable of being able to handle their emotions, especially in environments like this where it's drinking, it's partying, it's doing stuff like that, something gets out of hand, and who's to blame? If you're a governmental body, you're the one that is supposed to be protecting people, who's to say something like that won't happen?
Yeah. All right. And what regulations do you think should be made in order to ensure the safety of students and faculty?
I personally believed that, I thought that probably the best thing that should probably be done was to tighten background checks and also to tighten the requirements. I feel like if you're going to do something like that, you should make sure that the person that has the gun is truly somebody that you can say, okay, I can trust this person around a body of people with a weapon.
And do you guys think teachers on campus should carry guns if students are carrying guns as well?
I think it's okay for teachers to carry guns because when you have students carrying guns on campuses, you have over 1,000 kids on campuses every day, like that live on campus also. And with teachers, you only have a few amount of teachers, and you have like 1,000 kids compared to that. They're like, you don't know who's carrying a gun. All like 5,000 kids may have gun licenses, so you have 5,000 guns on campus, and you never know if people come out like. It'll be like a cowboy, back in the cowboy days, people shooting around and stuff, you know, because you never know if people are in the right mind, even if they do have a license, you just don't know what's going on.
Yeah, well, I thank you guys for joining me and giving me your opinions and everything, and thank you guys. And coming up next, Colby Morgan gives us an update on the honors trip to Italy. And stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
Hey, this job looks perfect. It says you need people skills?
Check.
Driver's license?
Check.
And a high school diploma. You got one of those, right?
Skip the drama. Get your diploma.
I got that.
You are good to go.
Take that first step towards a better future. Find free adult education classes at finishyourdiploma.org.
Today, 1 out of every 4 American kids is Hispanic. That means many of the future doctors who will care for us, the engineers who will build our cities, the scientists and entrepreneurs of our country can be your kids. We all know how hard it is for you to send them to college. This is why we want you to know you are not alone. And every day, more people support you to make it happen. Many support you. And the Hispanic Scholarship Fund helps you prepare, plan, and pay for your kids' college education.
Learn more at hsf.net.
So you see, son, good manners are important. Should I go through it again?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Exactly. Always say please, thank you, you're welcome, excuse me, sit up straight, hold doors open for ladies. If the door's locked, knock first, don't burp, don't swear, don't stare, don't use bad language, or talk with your mouth full, keep your elbows off the table.
What table?
Don't interrupt. Cover your mouth when you cough or sneeze. On the bus, give your seat up to anybody who has trouble standing. Bottom line, treat others the way you want to be treated. Got it?
Got it.
Good talk.
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
One day, when the glory comes, it will be ours.
Dr. King, what's your next move?
In March from Selma to Montgomery.
Selma is loud for every man, woman, and child.
We will not wait any longer.
In front of a crowd.
Thine eyes have seen the glory. Glory, glory, hallelujah.
Thank you for tuning in to Pow Wow TV. With this week's top stories, I'm Colby Morgan. There's a new provost at TJC. Dr. Juan Mejia will step into the new role after serving as Vice President of Student Affairs. In that role, he is responsible for intercollegiate athletics, student life and involvement, and enrollment management services, among others. He will continue to be responsible for these areas as well as taking on a new role as Chief Academic Officer. Mejia has been recognized at the local, state, and national level for his work in higher education, which expands over 27 years. 2 local businesses near the campus of Tyler Junior College have been robbed at gunpoint in the last month. The businesses, Paleteria Taqueria Polar and Posado's Mexican Restaurant, were robbed by 2 to 3 black men who are still being sought by police. No one was injured in the robberies and only cash was taken. Anyone with info on the robberies should call Smith County Crime Stoppers at 903-597-2833. The Center for Earth and Space Science Education at TJC will host Love Under the Stars on Valentine's Day, February 14th. There are 2 times, 5 and 8 p.m., and tickets are $75 per couple. Each show is 2.5 hours and will include a romantic planetarium program set to music and hors d'oeuvres. Go to mytjcnews.com and click on the Valentine's Day at SESI story for more information. The FCC will consider new rules for internet service providers. Chairman Tom Wheeler recently announced the details of the proposal. So-called net neutrality would keep ISPs from blocking or slowing down content on the internet. This battle over the web has been simmering for years. The biggest showdown occurred last summer when Netflix accused Verizon of slowing its connection to customers. The FCC will vote on new rules later this month. A trip to Italy for art and honor students at TJC has been canceled. According to TJ McLemore, the director of the honors program, the TJC lawyer made the decision over safety concerns. We'll continue working on this story and we'll have more details as they become available at mytjcnews.com. Coming up after the break, Fabian and I will discuss TJC's brand new softball team and their season thus far.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
Hey, this job looks perfect. It says you need people skills?
Check.
Driver's license?
Check.
And a high school diploma. You got one of those, right?
Skip the drama. Get your diploma.
I got that.
You are good to go.
Take that first step towards a better future. Find free adult education classes at finishyourdiploma.org.
Today, 1 out of every 4 American kids is Hispanic. That means many of the future doctors who will care for us, the engineers who will build our cities, the scientists and entrepreneurs of our country can be your kids. We all know how hard it is for you to send them to college. This is why we want you to know you are not alone. And every day, more people support you to make it happen. Many support you. And the Hispanic Scholarship Fund helps you prepare, plan, and pay for your kids' college education.
Learn more at hsf.net.
So you see, son, good manners are important. Should I go through it again?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Exactly. Always say please, thank you, you're welcome, excuse me, sit up straight, hold doors open for ladies. If the door's locked, knock first, don't burp, don't swear, don't stare, don't use bad language, or talk with your mouth full, keep your elbows off the table.
What table?
And don't interrupt. Cover your mouth when you cough or sneeze. On the bus, give your seat up to anybody who has trouble standing. Bottom line, treat others the way you want to be treated. Got it?
Got it.
Good talk.
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
One day, when the glory comes, it will be ours.
Dr. King, what's your next move?
In March from Selma to Montgomery.
Selma is loud for every man, woman, and child.
We will not wait any longer.
In front of a crowd.
Thine eyes have seen the glory. Glory, glory, hallelujah.
Welcome back to Pow Wow TV, powered by mytjcnews.com.
Welcome back to Pow Wow TV. After a year and a half of waiting to begin their season, the TJC softball team began their season facing ETBU. They lost their first game of a doubleheader, but won their second. Joining me from the news desk is Colby Morgan, who also is the current sports editor of the Apache Pow Wow. How are you today, Colby?
I'm doing great.
All right, man. Well, first off, I'm sure this question is on the back of everybody's mind. What took so long to implement the TJC softball team?
Well, after talking with Dr. Tim Drain, who is the athletic director here at TJC, they've been working on it for a long time, about 16 years.
Yeah.
The decision came because they were thinking about adding two sports, women's soccer and softball. They chose soccer because they already had a field and the coaches already had offices and stuff, so it was an easy transition. But after they remodeled the gym in 2010, they decided to add softball.
Okay. And since the team doesn't actually have a home field, what facility are they using for home field?
They currently play at Faulkner Park, located on 410 West Cumberland Road in Tyler.
Okay. And when and where will they begin to build a field, if they even do that?
There have been rumors swirling around that there would be a baseball and softball complex built at the Apache Woodlands. I talked to Dr. Tim Drain recently, and he said right now that is the plan, but right now softball, they have designs drawn for a softball field. Baseball does not currently have any designs, but right now there's nothing new to report on the move to the Apache Woodlands.
Okay. Now, we both attended the very first game, which was pretty exciting. And how do you think they did for their first game? I mean, they lost, but overall play and everything like that, how do you think they did?
I think they did a really great job because they had a lot of pressure. It's the first softball game in TJC history. They had a lot of nerves, which could have resulted in the loss, but they also had a big game. Jacqueline Molinar got the first ever hit. Left fielder Brittany Witten hit the first ever home run, and starting pitcher Haley Vance did a really nice job as well.
Yeah, I agree. They did a great job. As of a few hours ago, actually, the team is now currently 9-3. For the first season, I mean, how do you think that is? How do you think they're doing?
I think that's expected. I mean, TJC has a long history of athletic success. They've won 51 national championships, and at this rate, softball is gonna add on to that total in the near future.
Yeah, I believe so too. Yeah. All right, when and where is the next game? You had mentioned earlier something about a tournament coming up.
Yes, there is actually a tournament in Weatherford. There will be 4 games held, 2 on February 13th and 2 on February 14th at different times.
All right, man. Well, Colby, thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
And coming up after the break, we're going to go into the president's new plan for free community college. There may be a few things about the plan that you may not know. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
Hey, this job looks perfect. It says you need people skills?
Check.
Driver's license?
Check.
And a high school diploma. You got one of those, right?
Skip the drama. Get your diploma.
I got that.
You are good to go.
Take that first step towards a better future. Find free adult education classes at finishyourdiploma.org.
Today, 1 out of every 4 American kids is Hispanic. That means many of the future doctors who will care for us, the engineers who will build our cities, the scientists and entrepreneurs of our country can be your kids. We all know how hard it is for you to send them to college. This is why we want you to know you are not alone. And every day, more people support you to make it happen. Many support you. And the Hispanic Scholarship Fund helps you prepare, plan, and pay for your kids' college education. Learn more at hsf.net.
So you see, son, good manners are important. Should I go through it again?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Exactly. Always say please, thank you, you're welcome, excuse me, sit up straight, hold doors open for ladies. If the door's locked, knock first, don't burp, don't swear, don't stare, don't use bad language, or talk with your mouth full, keep your elbows off the table.
What table?
And don't interrupt. Cover your mouth when you cough or sneeze. On the bus, give your seat up to anybody who has trouble standing. Bottom line, treat others the way you want to be treated. Got it?
Got it.
Good talk.
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
One day, when the glory comes, it will be ours.
Dr. King, what's your next move?
In March from Selma to Montgomery.
Selma is loud for every man, woman, and child.
We will not wait any longer.
In front of a crowd.
Thine eyes have seen the glory. Glory, glory, hallelujah.
Thank you for staying with Pow Wow TV. This segment, we're going to be talking about the president's proposal for free community college. He announced the plan during his State of the Union address, and according to the Chronicle of Higher Education, students would have to maintain a 2.5 GPA. Also, the program would not be available to students whose household income is more than $200,000 a year. The White House says the program will cost $60 billion over 10 years. We went out and asked some students if they thought the plan was a good idea and if the cap on income was going to be a problem.
I think it's a great idea, obviously.
I think it's a really good idea. A lot of kids try really hard and some can't go to school because they don't have the opportunities.
I guess I think it's great because you get 2 years free.
I mean, it was really hard for me just to come here to this junior college because, I mean, my parents struggle and I'm just really, blessed that I get to be here. So I feel like if I was put in those shoes again, I'd really appreciate that. And I know, people are trying out there and I mean, why not give them education? They want to better themselves, so why not?
People out there who want to get their associate's degree, but they can't because of funds related and they don't qualify for enough scholarships.
It's also cutting into the taxes of everyone here.
I'm for it. Let's make it free.
People at community colleges, the reason that they're here is either because it's finances or it's because of grades, but a big part of it is usually finances.
All right. For the panelists now joining me, we have Victoria and Julio. What is your first impression of the president's program?
Well, my first impression, I think it's a great program. I'm kind of proud that he wanted to start something like this. There's so many people that just cannot go to school because they can't afford it. And starting something like this is going to change a lot in this country. So, yeah, I think it's a great program.
In the 1980s, 500% the cost has increased by 500%, like college costs.
Yeah.
And so, that's really cool how he's taking pressure off the United States, especially since we're competing with other countries that have proven to be, I guess, superior in an educational standpoint. So that's a good idea.
Do you think students will take college less seriously when they aren't paying for it themselves?
Absolutely not. I think the way that you view college is the way that you're going to view it, regardless of whether the money's coming from your pocket or someone else's. Coming from a student who is not personally going into her own pocket paying for college, I take it very, very seriously. You know, you have to graduate. You can't joke around with it. So even if you're not paying for it, I think you still have to be very serious.
Yeah, I think that actions speak louder than words. I think that if they really want to stay here, they're going to show it through their GPA. 2.5 is good. It's solid. I think that's like a C average, I think. Like, if you can keep a C average, you're good. If you can keep a C average, you did it, so, you know.
How do you guys think this will affect the attendance at TJC? Do you think it'll go up? Do you think it'll go down?
It'll go up.
I think it'll go up too. I mean, also I think a lot of students are going to take advantage of the free community college thing. And there's a lot of classes that I would have rather taken at community colleges and have it paid for and cost a lot less than have taken them, you know, at higher four-year universities and paid the full price for them. So yeah, I think it's gonna go up, but you know, it may stay the same, you know.
Do you think TJC will have to do anything differently because of this program?
I think it'll bring in more money. I'm sorry, not more money, because it's going to be free, but, which, I mean, speaking on that, that's kind of could probably be an issue because it's going to, you know, cost the schools money. And because of that, it's probably going to make it a little bit difficult or maybe even more uncomfortable. But, I mean, you know, I think the TJC is going to have to change a lot of things because it's going to be I think, you know, it'll be a whole lot more attendance. You know, because kids are going to choose to go here rather than to go to, you know, U of H, like she was saying.
Okay. And, of course, the program isn't completely free. The money has to come from somewhere. So what do you think about the added burden on taxpayers?
I don't think that taxpayers should be upset about, you know, having to pay a little bit more. We're taxed for cigarettes. Like, we're taxed for everyday, regular things, and to be taxed for something that's going to improve your life or your child's or your grandchild's life, I mean, pay the extra $100. It's okay. Yeah. So I don't think taxpayers should be upset about it.
I agree.
Okay. What about the exclusion of students whose household income is over $200,000 a year? Do you guys think that's fair? Do you think it should be raised, lower?
I think it's sketchy. It's kind of in between. It's an in-between kind of situation. But when it comes to a lot of things like this, you know, there's restrictions. Certain people really, really need it, and they're going to get pushed out of the program by people who may be capable of paying for it. So I think the restrictions should be there.
Okay. And is there anything else you guys would like to add?
I think it's a great blessing.
Yeah.
It's a great opportunity. Thank you, President Obama.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, speaking personally, you know, I pay out of pocket, so if I had the chance, I would definitely take full advantage of this. So, all right, well, I thank you guys for joining me.
Thank you.
And we want to leave you with something a little lighter today. Pow Wow TV went around campus to find out what some of you thought about Valentine's Day, and we had some pretty interesting reactions.
It's just another reason for me to have to go buy stuff.
Valentine's Day, I guess it's just a holiday for people to get together, and it's an excuse for girls to get presents and flowers and chocolates and stuff, I guess, so, yeah.
I mean, I like to go out to eat with my boyfriend, but I don't really expect anything. It's kind of stupid. I like Valentine's Day because the day after, all the candy's 75% off.
Honestly, I think it's about, you know, spending time with people that you truly love and you want to get to, you know, just hang out with them and do nothing.
The Hallmark Hall of Fame people must have had a good lobbyist. If you don't buy flowers, if you don't bring home kisses, it's not a good survival tactic.
If you're in a relationship, you know, you and your girlfriend could go out, eat, and stuff like that. But if you're single, I guess you could, you know, try to find a girl.
All right, thank you for joining us on Pow Wow TV. Remember, you can always find the latest news at mytjcnews.com.
Pow Wow TV is a production of the Apache Press Club at Tyler Junior College. The opinions expressed here are those of the students and do not necessarily reflect the positions of Tyler Junior College.